Hi guys. So just a quickie from me today on a little tutorial on those little hearts that I shared just a minute ago. I couldn't sleep last night, and for the first time in this whole situation I felt really anxious for some reason. So I got my my battery's running low and I'm not plugged in as well, so apologies if it cuts out. I'll come straight back. But yeah, so I got instead of lying there awake, I got my hook and yarn out and started playing around with the pattern. And there are loads and loads and loads of different patterns out there for hearts. So to crochet a heart, there's millions of different patterns. But I just started playing around last night, bearing in mind that loads of people that I showed the granny square tutorial to yesterday had never crocheted before. So in this little heart, I have bared in mind that some people only just started yesterday, and I've included just the techniques and stitches that we used in the... Hi Sammy, I love you too. So I think the only stitches I've included, so while I was in bed last night doing my little having a little play around with my hook and my yarn, I was thinking about all you guys who only just started yesterday and made sure, hi Jen, and made sure that it only included stitches that you guys will have learned yesterday, so that everyone who just learned yesterday can do it too. So I'm going to crack on before my phone runs out, and before the kids come up. I've just set them up with a film and some lunch in the hope that that will keep them occupied, but you never know, they might come up in a minute, who knows. So I am going to turn this now so that you can see, first of all, my ceiling, and now my floor. Okay, so here we are. These are the little hearts that we're going to be making. I'm going to make two so that you get to see it twice, and I'll do it relatively slow, but it's also going to be saved, this video, so you can come back and do it. I won't go quite as slow as I did yesterday because my phone might die. So I'm going to do a red one. So here is the red yarn, and we're going to do the same as yesterday in that we are going to do a slip knot on our hook like that. Okay, so just like yesterday, the way we started with a chain of 6, instead we're going to start with a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got our chain of 4. Anyone who's a bit stuck on any of what I show you now, go back and watch yesterday's live video, because you'll get all of this a lot slower. Okay, so chain of 4, and we're going to join it together with a slip stitch like we did with our 6 yesterday. So I'm going to push my hook through the first chain that we did. So push that through there, hook that yarn, pull it through, and through the loop that's on your hook. So now you've got this little circle. It's a little bit smaller and tighter to crochet into than the 6 that we had yesterday, but should still be okay for you to get a heart into. Okay, so with this heart that I've designed, we've got our chain of 4 and it's now in a circle so that we can crochet, and we're going to do all of our stitches going into the middle of there. Okay, so we're going to chain 2 from here. So chain 1, 2, okay. Now we're going to do 7 trebles. So yarn over, put your hook into the hole, hook the yarn, pull it through to the front, so you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Going to do that 7 times. And again, if you're stuck with this and you're doing this new and these stitches are new to you, then go back to the video that I did yesterday and watch it over where I do it a lot slower. I could do it a lot slower now, but I'm just paranoid that my phone's going to die. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to do a chain of 2. So I tend to pull my stitches back a bit so that they're all lined up next to each other nicely. A chain of 2, 1, 2. And now we're going to do a slip stitch in the first chain of 2 that we did. So we've got a chain there and a chain there. 1, 2. We're going to push our hook through the first one. Push it through there. Hook that yarn. Pull it through and through the loop that's on your hook. So that was a slip stitch into that first chain of 2. Now we're going to treble 7 trebles back into this hole here. So we're going up the other side of our heart. So that's one side. Now we're going to go back up this side for the other side of our heart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pull them back a bit, 6, 7. Okay, chain 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to slip stitch back into that circle, that middle circle. So slip stitch is just hook the yarn, pull it through, and pull it through the loop that's on your hook. And then your little heart is complete. So now all we need to do is fasten off. So you're going to get your scissors, going to cut about there, and you are going to pull that tail end that we've just cut off through that loop and pull it tight. And now we've got a little heart. So now all you need to do here is sew in these ends. Okay, so we're going to sew those into the back of our heart. So the same way in terms of sewing in ends as we did yesterday, we're going to get a darning needle, thread your tail ends on, and if the side that was facing you when you were crocheting, that's the front. So if you turn it over to the back, and you're going to go through there like that, so you're kind of going through the middle, not coming back out to the front, and then go back on yourself again a couple of times. Whoops. And then back. And then we're going to cut that off just there. And then you're going to do the same with the other tail end. Okay, so I'm only going to do that one because I am, like I say, paranoid that my video is going to cut out, but you can always watch it back to do it again. But I'm going to make an orange one as well. And then the thing that I was going to show you that you could do with them is, there's quite a few things that you could do with them, obviously, and, you know, work away, do whatever you fancy. But what I was going to do with them is using some craft wire so you can barely see it. If you haven't got any of this at home and you don't want to order some, then you can order it from like Amazon and eBay and places like that. But otherwise you could just use some cotton or craft cotton or a white wool, like white yarn. And I'm going to use this to sew onto my so I've got that on my hook, and then I'm going to thread it onto my hearts like this. So there's one, and then another. So blue, green, yellow, and red. And then they make a pretty little rainbow window display. So then, once you've done that, you could use either those like suckers with the hook on them to go on your window, or you can get these little hooks. See these? They're command hooks. They're amazing. So you can put them on your wall and stuff like that, and then they come off without making any mess if you pull them off in the right way. But you could also use this on your window. So you use these little sticky tabs, stick one of these little clear clips onto your window, and then you could hang your rainbow hearts on your window for another little window display. Obviously you'll need to do a knot in the end down here, or sew it into your heart a couple of times just to keep that one in place. And then, yeah, hang it on your window, and so you know, when all the little kids are out walk in with their parents on their daily walks, and they're looking for rainbows in the windows. It's just another little something different to have a little look at. And then also you could do a similar sort of thing, but instead of threading the wire through the middle like that, you could thread it along the top bits of your heart and make a long garland that would hang like that way. So yeah. And if you make these little hearts and then you think of anything else to do with them, then share it. And if you make the hearts and you do the same as this, then share it. So share it on social media, and so Instagram or Facebook, and tag it at Raise Room UK, hashtag Raise Rooms Rainbows, Raise Room Rainbows, and hashtag Raise Room Crocheters. And yeah. Stay home, stay safe. I hope everybody's okay. And if you're feeling a little bit anxious, like I was last night, for the first time, I got a little bit anxious. So I got my hook out and started making up this pattern for you guys. So yeah, if you're feeling anxious, have a little go at this and I'm sure it'll calm you down. If you haven't done any crochet before, then have a little look at my video from yesterday. So yeah. Just before I let you go, seeing as my phone seems to be holding out, I'll give you a little recap. So you've got, you start off with a chain of 4, and then you join it together with a slip stitch, and then you do a chain of 2, and then you do 7 trebles into your middle circle. Then you do a chain of 2 and slip stitch back into the first chain of 2 that you did, the first one of the 2, the one furthest away from your hook. Then 7 trebles again back into that center circle up to the top for the other half of your heart, then chain 2 and slip stitch back into that middle circle, and then just sew your ends in. Or if you wanted to use them as like little hanging decorations, then you could leave your tail ends and just tie them together to hang them with. So yeah, there you go. That was my little quick crochet live for today. See you soon. Bye.